everyone, it's Shiloh here, back with a video featuring Pajama Crafter stamps. This week is National Chip and Dip Week, so I will be doing a card featuring a bunch of chips. So here is our finished card, and if you saw on the title, we are doing a surprise party on the inside, and there it is. So this is referred to as a stadium card, just because when you open it up, it kind of feels like people doing the wave at the stadium. So that's why that's called that. And I'm just going to show you all the products that I used for this card. We have In My Heart of Hearts stencil, the Birthday Bash paper pad, of course the Chip Chip Hooray stamp set, and then I just used some little stamps here out of these sets. This is the Hippo Hooray and the Prehistoric Birthday, just to stamp out some different accessories for my card. I also used quite a few of the Opalescence confetti. This is one of my favorites. I use it on a lot of cards. So I'm just showing you now here that I have already colored the majority of my chips and accessories, just because we're going to save some time. But I am going to color this one chip here so that you can see exactly how I colored all the chips. They're all colored the same, so really no point in me showing you that again and again. So I went in with E53 as my darkest color, and I started there, and I'm blending that out with the E51. I usually start with my darkest color and blend out from there, so it just helps me put in my shadows a little bit better. And then finishing off with the E50, it's the main color. I don't know, this just seemed like the perfect potato chip color for me. And we're just giving them some cute little pink cheeks using my RV10 and my RV00. And I will list the Copic markers below, as well as I am putting them up on the screen here for you if you're interested in any of the colors. These are the same colors that I ended up using throughout all the accessories. So if you want to color something similar, then that will give you a good place to start. And I'm keeping my little gift white with a red, and I will do a red ribbon. But because of that, I just am doing a little tiny bit of shading. So I just went in with my C1 and my C00. And now here comes all the red. These are my go-to reds. I've got R29 and R24. So because the accessories on these guys are pretty small, I chose to just use 2 shades. I didn't really see a point or a need to do 3 shades, or sometimes I'll even do 4 shades on bigger things. So just with being so small, it just keeps it simpler. I do end up adding a bit of glitter glue to some of this stuff, so because of that too, you're covering up some of your shading, etc., which you will see throughout the video here. But yeah, just a way to keep it simple, right? If you just keep it to 2 shades, it's simpler, especially when you're getting into those little tiny spots, like on that hat there. Like I did all the stripes in a different color, so each stripe is pretty small. So 2 shades was definitely plenty, and I'm just going to show you each shade as I go in and color those. So this was kind of the perfect chip to show you, because it does show you all the colors that I ended up using throughout, and that way you get a little sampling of everything as opposed to just seeing one color. For my color palette, I kind of wanted it to be bright and cheery and a bit rainbow-like. I did pick out my colors according to that Birthday Bash paper. So that was how I came up with my color scheme. And this guy that I'm coloring right now is on the front of the card. So he has a rainbow of colors, whereas each other chip has like red sneakers, and then he'll have red accessories, or yellow sneakers and yellow accessories. So that's kind of how I did that. Just showing you my black glazed pen. I like to go over eyes when they're solid black like that with the little glazed pen. It gives them a little bit of dimension, tiny bit, and some gloss. So it helps it look kind of interesting and neat. And here I am going in with my glitter glue, my stickles, over top of that white on the present so that it's a nice shiny little present. And I also went over the top puff of his hat there just to make him look a little more shiny and festive. And I did already glossy over on a couple of my balloons, but I do get asked this a lot. How do I make my balloons shiny? So I just thought I would actually show doing this one here today. So I just use glossy accents and put a nice, not super thick or super thin, but just a nice coat of the glossy. Make sure it's coated well. And then I'm just showing, because on the bottom of the balloon where the balloon would be tied, it's such a tiny little area. So I'm just going to show you here that what I often will do is I take a pin, so a pin that you would use in sewing, and I just take the tip and I can dab a little of that glossy and spread it out. So I can kind of almost like use it like a paintbrush. The other thing you can do with that glue, with that pin, is if you get any extra where you don't want it, you can scrape it off. So it's just a nice way to get into those little detail areas. So we're just going to move on to that waterfall or the stadium design here, how we made that fan, I guess, so that you can see, well, not so you can see, so you can learn. So I just took a piece of cardstock and I cut it down to 8 by 10. And now we're going to score. And I do have all this written down on the video for you, but we're going to score at the 4, we're going to score at the 8, we're going to score at 8 3/4 and 9 1/2. So now I've got almost a full sheet here that's scored, so that just makes it nice and easy. And now we're just going to trim 1-inch strips. And we're going to need 6 strips for this card. So now I've got my 6 strips and we're going to do some folding. So along those score lines, I don't want to overcomplicate by saying valleys and mountains and V's, and so I'm just going to let you watch and see how I folded them. They all will be folded exactly the same way. And then we're going to adhere them all exactly the same way. So it looks complicated, but it's actually quite a simple process. So if you just have any questions with this, of course, please leave them below. I'll be happy to answer them. But hopefully with my video here and you watching, it will be quite straightforward for you. I found it quite easy to do this. So, and this is not my design. This is a common fun fold card that is out there. Like I say, it's referred to as like a stadium card or even a waterfall card. So you can certainly find lots of tutorials out there if you would like to see someone else make one. Perhaps you would get different ideas, or it might be more clear for you if this is unclear at all. But again, please ask me questions. Okay, so I have all 6 pieces here folded and attached together, making that kind of neat little V. And now we're going to just make sure that all of the seams, or where I stuck them together, are either all pointing up or all pointing down. And we're just going to put adhesive along the same edge. And now when we attach them, you're just going to overlap, but you're also going to leave a little bit of space. So you're not putting them exactly on top of each other. You're just putting it a little bit to, in this case, to the right side. And you could measure that space to make it even. I just eyeballed it. It's about 1 centimeter in Canada, so I'm guessing that would be about 1/3 of an inch, maybe not quite. Sorry, I don't have a ruler in front of me. And there you go. You can see that that's your little fan fold device. And I have to confess, I didn't get a full video of this, you guys. I meant to show you the actual attaching of this inside, and somehow it didn't record. So those 2 end pieces are both going to be covered in adhesive, and hopefully it makes sense to you that you're just going to adhere one to the I'm showing you here. You're going to put one piece on that on the inside fold on the upper piece, and then the other will attach to the bottom piece so that when it opens, it will hold each end, if that makes sense. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry that I didn't get that on video. Again, if you have any questions on that, please just let me know. And that was me, again, showing you I was just working on the inside. So we did stamp a sentiment on the inside, and then I did attach that fan to the inside as well. And I somehow did not get that on video, so I apologize. Here I am showing you a collection of all the pieces that I used for the front. So something really went wrong here. I had thought I was recording all of this for you. So there's just a few little snippets here that are missing, unfortunately. So I left this in. This is me gathering all my supplies to create the front of my card. You will see some more of the pieces gathered together, but unfortunately I didn't capture actually assembling this. I apologize so much. So I have a little punched out heart. I have my photo corners there. I punched out a couple tabs, some strips of that striped paper. And then here I am. I've sewn the top and bottom of that confetti type piece. I stitched a little platform for the chip to stand on that heart piece. So here's me showing you it all assembled, because I realized at this point that I hadn't caught all of it on recording. So I'm just showing you that I've used foam tape to attach the different layers, that I took this little banner paper and I cut out those little tiny banners, and then we just attached them onto the front there to add some detail. Of course, I've stamped out a sentiment. This is me showing you that that ribbon needs to be attached to the front of the card behind that focal point, but it has to be loose the rest of the way so that it can actually wrap around the back and tie. So just to be aware of that. That's a super important part for the front of the card. I will be showing you here, I'm attaching as a finishing touch some of those opalescence confetti. I feel like anytime there's a birthday or a celebration card, it's fun to add these little bits of shimmer and shine. And just because I haven't mentioned it and it didn't show up on video, those hearts that are on the back of that little panel are from the stencil. So I just used some tumbled glass, I believe it was, and stenciled those on so that you could just add a bit more interest. Okay, so now we're going to go into the inside of the card, which is the main feature of this card anyway. So I could have re-recorded the front, but I chose not to, just simply because this is the important part, is how to assemble this waterfall or stadium style card. And whatever you do on the front, that'll be up to you. But I wanted to make sure that you had these instructions. So I just have a bunch of little rectangles that I wanted to build my little chip scenes or chip guys onto. I took the same colors that I colored my chip accessories and shoes, and I just made these little rectangles. Some of them are the B side of that paper, and a couple are just from my stash. And so we just matched up each chip to the coordinating color, and then now we're going to accessorize with their coordinating accessories. The only thing I will mention is that my chip is a little bit taller than that rectangle. So what I found was I wanted to put adhesive all the way across the back of my chip, but obviously you don't want anything sticky on the back side of that chip, or it will stick to your waterfall or stadium pieces when they're all in that fan inside your card. So you just want to make sure there's nothing sticky behind anything that will be above that little rectangle. And then we're going to attach them all into the rectangle. So you can see I'm showing you kind of how I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to adhere or put some tape on all my little levels, I guess would be a good word, or tier for this. And then we're going to attach each one of those. And it basically is that easy, you guys. You are building that fan for the inside is probably the most complicated part of this. And once that's done, it's just all fun from here. You just get to decorate and accessorize. When I was looking up ways to do this card, because this was new to me too, actually, there was a lot of really fun ideas out there that you can use inside. So I did chips because it's National Chip Week, and I don't know, it just felt like you can never have only one chip, so we needed a whole party. It just seemed fitting for this week. But I mean, you can do all kinds of things inside, flowers or butterflies and dragonflies, or I'm sure you would have many ideas of your own as well. But this is quite a fun card to make, and definitely even just a bunch of critters. It could be birthday like I've done here. You get a whole crew that's celebrating. So lots of ideas. And I just showed you there at the bottom. Unfortunately, a few of my little accessories are peeking out. So that's something to keep in mind, is that you want to try not to do that. Again, like I said, this is new to me too. So it doesn't bother me. I have no problem putting it in a bigger envelope, but ideally you would want that to be all tucked in and not sticking out. I just showing you here how I reinforced my little balloons. So I just took a strip of scrap paper and glued it to the back side of that string, as well as a little bit further up. And that just makes it a little stronger because these are going to be kind of hanging off to the side here. And then I'm just randomly sticking them in where I want them. So no rhyme or reason with the balloons. I wanted my chips to be holding them. But again, if I had put them in their hands, those balloons would have been sticking out so far that they would have been really hanging out the bottom of that card. And so because I didn't want that, I just kind of randomly placed them throughout, and just makes them look festive and fun. So yeah, you can certainly do whatever you like. And then I just went through and added some more of these opalescence confettis. This color is amazing, you guys. It goes with everything. It kind of picks up colors that you put it near. So they're not quite clear, but yeah, I love these. I use them on, I think I've already said that, but I use these a lot. So they're a great must-have in the stash. And I was using my beautiful rose gold wand to put those on. I think it's so pretty, and Pajama Crafter Stamps has those, of course, in stock. So, and there we go, you guys. That's our finished card. Looks so complicated, but it's actually quite simple. So I hope everything was clear to you. I apologize again that there wasn't video of everything. Showing you some finished card photos here so you can see the finished card outside and in. So fun. Thank you all for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and we will see you next time.